This is Poppy and Rye Chapter 14. Chapter 14 is called Erith. Erith ran among the trees, heart pounding, quills rattling. He tried every dodge he knew to escape, as if some great beast were pursuing him, though this beast was his own feelings. He climbed trees, he threw himself behind bushes. It made no difference. He still felt miserable. When he found an old hollow log, he plunged into it. There, surrounded by the stench of a poultry rot and moldering fungus, he hunkered down and stared outside at the rain, but found no relief. Never had he felt so miserable. Gradually, from the storm subsided, the rain ceased, water dripped, a gray mist clinging to the earth slithered through the dark trees like forbidden thoughts. Erith crawled out of the log and shook himself. "Take hold of yourself," he murmured. He headed back to the ridge in search of the cottonwood tree he had climbed when Poppy had left him. This time he found it, but when he reached it, he had discovered she was not there, and all of his desperation returned. "Where is she?" he muttered. "Why did she leave me? What kind of friend is she anyway? Does she not know I need her? She should be here helping me." With that, Erith wheeled about and trundled down the path he had seen Poppy take. As he came off from the crest of the ridge, there was no sign of Poppy, only the pond where the beavers were hard at work. Erith stared blatefully at the beavers. They seemed to be working nicely together. At least they were not smiling at one another. A family, he snarled with contempt. A happy family. "Crabgrass up their snoots," Erith snapped. "I'm going back to Dimwood Forest." And with that he turned and galloped up the hill, and plunged among some of the trees, quickly passing through them. The next moment he burst into an open area. Before him lay a sunken meadow filled with berry brambles and flowering vines. Paying no particular mind to where he was going, Erith hurried himself into the most clotted part of the thicket. It was a wild jumble, with plants growing so closely together he had to push and shove his way through the tangle of bushes. He was so close to the middle when he was forced to stop. He could not move. His quills, caught in the brambles and vines, held him fast. He was stuck. Though he could not move, an exhausted Erith was glad for the rest, glad for the quiet. He could not go anywhere. "I'll stay here forever," he sighed, "until I die. It's better that way. It won't be long neither. Poppy was right. I'm old, very old." He closed his eyes and thought of home. He thought of Poppy. Momentarily his anger rekindled, and then grudgingly he admitted to himself that it was he who had told her to go off by herself. Maybe her leaving him was a little bit his fault. He sighed. The more he thought about her, the more he missed her. She was always so good-natured, kind, brave, his best friend. Perhaps he should find a way to tell her that, some day. With a shake of his head, he muttered, "Pickle puke," and decided it would be better not to tell her anything. It wouldn't do. She might make fun of him, tease him, call him that horrid word old again. Still, he might find her a seed or two. He could leave them where she might find them, as if by an accident. Nothing more than that. If a porcupine didn't remain prickly, what could he be? Nothing. Erith settled down, relieved that it was impossible for him to do anything, but snuck away. It was better that way, much better. He didn't have to think or feel anything. He would just die. That, he thought, will show her.